Hey everyone, Gremlin Lord here, and today we're going to go through the Black Friday and Cyber Monday items that I got. There's supposed to be theme music playing. Ooh. So just like the previous years, I got a bunch of normal everyday items, but I also got a large collection of DVDs to go through as well. So let's get started. First item is this Vegan Pro 360 protein powder. If you know me, you know I'm not a big fan of whey because it gets in the way of my digestion. So I've never tried this brand. Hopefully it's not terrible. The brand is Forzagen. I don't know, it's vanilla milkshake. Next is this hair insurance from Aussie. It's what I use in my hair. I got a 3-pack of these. Smells great, keeps your hair soft. Get that. Next 2 things, or technically 6 things, are for a gift for someone. I know. It's Secret Clinical Strength deodorant. 2 3-packs. I know. Who gives deodorant as a gift? I do. Now we have an item that we had last time. Aspen, my cologne scent of choice. I have a very sensitive nose and can only have certain things. Aspen. You can get it at Walmart. The next 2 things are gifts as well. The people who I'm giving them to don't watch my stuff, so it's okay. This was a requested item, okay? I'm not just giving Post-its to somebody. They actually requested Post-it notes, okay? And then the other person, you can't see it, but it's a collapsible folder. Like in one of those, like, accordion type folders. Like that. Oh, that's what they wanted. So that's what you get. So the rest of the video is going to be dedicated to the movies that I got for great discounts on Amazon. Okay. The first one is Edward Scissorhands. I know we all know this movie very well. Tim Burton classic. Johnny Depp, Winona Ryder. Oh, Diane Wiest. I haven't watched this in a really long time. Basically, it's a story about a guy with scissors for hands. Vincent Price is also in it. He plays the creator of Edward Scissorhands. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been. You should probably check it out. Okay? Don't listen to that woke liberal. This movie has woke written all over it. This man, Edward Scissorhands, was doing fine by himself before he got involved with this woke Mary Sue female character played by Winona Ryder. And she just had to change him. Oh, I can change him. I can change him. Garbage. Okay, the next movie is called The Witch, written and directed by the guy who did The Northman. So the attention to detail and historical accuracy is super high in this movie. It really felt you were in the 1600s, about a family who leave the plantation and try to make a life for themselves in New England, and things go amiss because of a witch. I'm not the biggest fan of like old-timey 1600 English because I feel like it makes you think too much. Like, thou dost protest too much. Like, okay, like, it just makes you think more to decipher what they're saying. But other than that, the movie is really good, actually, and it's very suspenseful. I wouldn't call it as much of a horror movie as it is a family drama with some supernatural elements put in. It's not overly graphic, but there is some definiteness. You should check it out. Really? You could just tell by the title, The Witch, that it's gonna be woke feminist garbage. If it's not called The Warlock, there's no male lead. In fact, every man in the movie, dead. The only person who survives, a little blonde woman. Ooh. Woke garbage. Feminist agenda. Okay, so the next movie is this 2016 instant classic, Dirty Grandpa, starring Zac Efron and Robert De Niro. It's everything you expect it to be. Dirty raunchy grandpa, straight-laced Zac Efron. I mean, antics ensue. That's the movie. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, some of the jokes fall a little flat just because they seem a little dated just in general. But most of the jokes land, and it's pretty fun, as usual. And it's usually pretty fun to see old people acting dirty. So, I mean, it's a win-win for that. If I had to lodge a complaint against this cover art, look at this cover art. I mean, you got these heads that look like they're photoshopped onto these bodies. It's just so bizarre. And why is Robert De Niro's shirt so wrinkled? I mean, come on. That couldn't have been handled in post-production? All right, guys, let's not listen to that liberal woke fool, okay? This movie is a classic. Something those little soy boys who was just talking about this movie, they couldn't handle this movie. This movie came out 2016, before the liberals went crazy with their woke agenda. But they still managed to get a gay black man to check off those little woke forced diversity boxes. But this movie, though, it will have you rolling in the aisles, man. You got drugs, it has sex, it has everything a real high-tea man like myself.
High-tea man like myself?
Whatever what. This movie right here, Dirty Grandpa, get it. Don't listen to the woke folks. Okay, that's getting a bit annoying. Anyway, the next movie is called The Hitman's Bodyguard. I thought this looked pretty funny when it was being released. Samuel L. Jackson, Ryan Reynolds, Salma Hayek, Gary Oldman. I mean, it's a pretty stacked cast for an action movie. It's basically a buddy cop movie, but without them being cops. The action is over the top and well choreographed. Chase scenes are really good. Driving through the streets of Amsterdam at one point. It was very claustrophobic, but very well done. And overall, it's just a fun time. I found myself cracking up out loud, and you know, I would definitely recommend this. And I think there's a second one called The Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife. I have not seen that one yet. But if you've seen it, go ahead and put it down in the chat if you liked it or not. Hitman's Bodyguard? I mean, it would have been high tea and great and everything, unlike the soy boy who didn't even like it at all. But this movie, it would be a perfect 10 if it didn't have that forced diversity initiative of a woke interracial marriage between Samuel L. Jackson and Salma Hayek. Come on, you have to mix the races like that? Ugh. Other than that, it's a fine movie. I literally said I liked it. It is high tea. You know, it's action and guns and bullets. It's, you know, it's an action movie. Anyway, the next movie is Reservoir Dogs by Quentin Tarantino. Again, packed cast. I haven't seen this one in over 10 years, so I really need to give it another watch. I do remember watching it, though, and enjoying it very thoroughly. The only thing that bugged me a little bit, it was that there was so much hype around a certain scene involving an ear, and when I saw it, I was just kind of like, oh, there's nothing really to it, you know? But maybe it's because I watched it years after it came out, and audiences are more desensitized to that type of violence, so. Of course, the liberal soy boy doesn't get it. That ear scene is one of the most iconic scenes in all of cinema. Quentin Tarantino said it best that we're in the worst era of cinema ever, even though that includes all of his movies too. Quentin Tarantino is the exception to the rule. All his stuff is fantastic and awesome, you know? It's not as good as Django because Leonardo DiCaprio is like the GOAT in that movie, man. Everything he does is perfect and I wish I could emulate it. But Reservoir Dogs isn't that bad. I mean, it's pretty good. If you're sensitive to that kind of thing, don't watch it. I think I'm sensing a theme here. Anyway, the next movie I bought was The Matrix Quadrilogy. I have a couple of these on DVD, but one of them got chewed up by a dog and like messed up, and I just wanted to replace them all with a 4-pack Blu-ray and digital set. Much better. Obviously, 1, 2, 3. We all know those movies. 1, awesome. 2, awesome. 3, still good. Maybe not as awesome. But the 4th one, I liked it. And it was nice to see the characters again and kind of go through the motions. But I just don't know if it was completely necessary, you know? And I'm going to say it, I really wish Keanu Reeves would cut his hair and shave his face for this role. Because, I mean, he's been sporting the same look in every single movie for the past decade. And it's like, we get it. You're John Wick. But, I mean, you couldn't have cut your hair a little bit for The Matrix, you know, come back and look a little nice for Trinity. Anyway, good movie series. Check it out. 4th one is the weakest, but it's still good. Okay. Of course, he doesn't get it. This movie set by the Wachowski brothers. I'm not calling you the Wachowskis with that woke pronoun garbage. The Wachowski brothers made this series of movies, and they're awesome for it. Those bros are really good. Now, obviously, the 4th one is super woke feminist propaganda bullshit because Trinity is now the one. She controls everything. Of course she does, because that's what happens when you change your pronouns and try to make another movie in the same genre. 1 through 3, that's all you need. 4th one, get out of here. Where am I? Doesn't matter. The next movie is a bit of a magic trick. Ta-da! It's Now You See Me. Now, this is a movie I never really wanted to see. When it came out, I wasn't really interested in it. The reason why I got it was because it was $4 and it comes with the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital and extended edition. So I mean, that's really why I got it. My grandmom will probably really like it. That being said, it wasn't that bad of a movie. You know, it actually wasn't very boring. It had a decent storyline to it, and there's a lot of bigger names in it, you know. I mean, I do have some complaints. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Jesse Eisenberg. I don't know why I'm not a fan of Jesse Eisenberg. Maybe it's the way he talks, his mannerisms. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like he's trying to talk really quick, and he just kind of gets this mannerism about it, you know? I don't know. Luckily, the movie focuses more on Mark Ruffalo, who for some reason has this very forced love interest. Don't know why it was needed in the movie. It 100% was not needed in this movie. But they wanted to put it in there anyway. Wanted to have that love story angle. One of the other things I don't like, so the reason why I didn't want to see this in theaters is I knew they were going to do things that were just movie magic. So Morgan Freeman's character explains some of the magic tricks they do. They seem very elaborate and everything, and he's able to pinpoint what's going on in the movie. But there's certain things that the characters do that are obviously not explainable in the general realm of physics. For example, Isla Fisher's character, she throws this scarf thing out and it whirls around and CGI, and it's something that isn't really something that you could explain using general physics. Like there's no fans blowing and all that stuff. So there wasn't a lot of that, which is good. I just knew that there would be stuff like that that just kind of irks me, because if you're gonna make a movie about magic, make it real magic, like things that can be explained and not things like, wow, that was magical. You know? I don't know. It was fine to watch. My grandma will like it. Oh, you want to see a magic trick? Guess what finger I'm holding up behind this movie? That's how I feel about that woke soy boys review of this movie. This movie is pure magical genius in here. All-star cast, except for the female character. You know, they're called horsemen, not the 3 horsemen and 1 woman horse person. But, I mean, other than that, it's phenomenal. Great action, great love story, that we don't really need it. We just need more dudes, man. We just need more dudes in film. Why do we have to have women in film anymore, man? This isn't... Why can't we go back to Shakespeare times where they, like, stop women from being in plays and just have men play everybody? God, that'd be so much better. Anyway, this movie's great. Check it out. Now you see it. Now you don't. Okay, but like to make him disappear. Anyway, the next movie I was very excited to watch. It was called X. It's by Ty West. It's the first movie of currently 2 movies. The second one is Pearl, also came out this year. Which seems a little odd to release 2 movies 6 months within each other. But a group of filmmakers are looking to make a porno, and they rent this little farmhouse on this farm owned by these 2 old people. You can basically predict what's going to happen. The old people are going to find out that they're making porn, and then they're going to get upset. For me, it was a pretty disappointing premise, because it's the same premise that's been used in horror movies and slasher movies for the past 30, 40, 50 years, where old people don't like young people having sex, or you're having sex and that's naughty, so you deserve to die. I understand it's supposed to be a homage to the classic slasher or snuff films back in the late 70s and 80s, but it just feels more like a retread to me. Every kill, you know exactly how they were going to die. The killer standing there with their hand behind their back. I wonder what they have in their hand. Could it be a weapon? So it's just like, every time you're like, oh, that person's going to die from that. Oh, that person's going to die from that. And sure enough, pew, 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 that's what happens. It was very predictable, very formulaic in those type of things. It's not all doom and gloom. The scenery is really nice. It was filmed in New Zealand, not in Texas, but it was very beautifully shot. There's a lot of artistic shots that I really did like. There is this one thing I did not like. It's where they make things flash by really quickly, and it's 2 completely unrelated scenes, and it just flash, 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 flash. It just switches back and forth between the 2, kind of like this.
Where is that number?
So it's a little disorienting the way it just flashes at you, and it was very odd. But other than that, I mean, most of the characters are good. I liked some of them had some growth in there. Mia Goth's character, though, and she's on the cover of the DVD holding an axe, which I don't believe she holds in the movie at all, which is a weird choice for the cover of this. It's actually Jenny Ortega's character that has like a hatchet. This girl here screaming. But anyway, Mia Goth's character just wasn't that interesting. She was very one note. Surprising because she's supposed to be like the new girl of horror, and I just kind of found her dull. I'm gonna be a star. I'm gonna live a life that I deserve. That's her character. I mean, and then she has sex. So this is not a spoiler if you look at the credits. Mia Goth also plays the old lady, and I think she does a really good job of being an old lady, like moving like an old lady and sounding like an old lady. But when she talks, she doesn't move her mouth, because you could tell the prosthetics are way too tight, they're way too stiff, and she just talks like this. Oh, Hildy, I used to be a dancer too. You know, I was beautiful when I was a little girl. Like, did they just dub these lines afterwards? Like, what the hell's going on with that? I don't know. Overall, I would say see it for yourself. It is an homage to classic slasher films, and you could tell that 100%. I just felt it was a little bit too much of an homage. It's very copy-paste by the numbers horror as you know it. It's a somewhat original idea of the porno thing, but I mean, other than that, it's fine. God, why don't these woke boys ever get it? X by Ty West is an instant classic. It is everything we ever needed. Sure, it's full of cliches. Who cares? Sure, it looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Who cares? You know, it's not one of those corporate prequel sequels that we're always getting, like Scream 45 and Halloween Continues On for some reason. Every kill was original and beautifully done. Those flashings, that's supposed to be there because, you know, it's cinematography, bro. At least we could agree the scenery is beautiful. And I mean, New Zealand, come on. It's obviously Texas. You can go on IMDb and see they filmed it in Texas. It's not filmed in Texas? Man, what the fuck? There was like a rapper guy in it or something. King Cooties. I don't know his name. And of course they had to make a silhouette of his ding dong down there, you know, just to check off those woke force diversity initiative boxes. All they're doing is alienating their real hardcore high tea bros like me, trying to make us feel uncomfortable and inadequate. But I did it. I did it at all. As everything you want in a slasher film, tits, and more tits. It's the most sex I've seen in years. X, yeah, X-rated. I feel like he's getting pretty predictable. Anyway, he's definitely not going to like this last movie. This last movie is called Everything Everywhere All at Once. It is an original take on the multiverse type of idea where every time you make an important life decision, a different version of you branches out and that becomes another you. So let's say you played college sports. That's one path of you. And then maybe that path branches off because you get into professional sports. Or the other one, you don't get into professional sports and you have to get a regular job. So those are two different versions of you. And the idea is that you can tap into the skill sets of one of the other versions of you and use their skill set. So if there's another version of me that knows karate, because I don't know karate, then I can tap into that person and then I'll know karate as well. It could be a little confusing for people who aren't really into like a sci-fi type of thing, but it really taps into all the genres. There's family drama, there's suspense, there's a lot of action, there's mystery. There's even slight elements of horror. Obviously, there's some comedy in it, and it's not forced comedy. It just kind of happens. It's handled straight lace-wise. For example, there's a raccoon that talks, and it seems really goofy, but the way it's done is that it's serious in the world that it takes place in. This happens to be one of my favorite movies of the entire year, and probably in recent memory. I saw it twice in theaters. I've already watched it again at home. It has Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, I'm going to mess up his name. Ke Huy Quan, the short round from Indiana Jones. Jenny Slate, Harry Shum Jr., James Hong, and Stephanie Hsu. I don't know how to say her name. I'm super sorry. But the movie is amazing. I would totally recommend it. It definitely takes more than one viewing if you want to catch all the little things in it. My movie of the year. Right here. Movie of the year? Are you joking? This thing is woke garbage. First off, super diverse cast? Yeah, sure. That's just a way to get away from criticisms of a poorly written movie. The movie's all over the place, and who's the bad guy? Of course, it's the white woman Jamie Lee Curtis who wants to take all your money. Oh, what a shocker. Everything I expect from a woke Hollywood garbage movie that I haven't even seen, because why would I care if seeing something new and original? You know, I have to hate on something. God. Don't see this movie unless you feel like being bored to death for over 2 hours by woke political garbage mixed in with kung fu. Ooh, ching chang, whoa. Stupid. Okay, so that's everything that I got on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. See anything you like, let me know down in the comments below. And maybe we could do another haul video just for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Stay woke, my bros. No, don't like, don't subscribe, don't even watch any more of his videos. Those shorts aren't funny. His voice acting, not funny. Don't watch anything.
Hey, why are you fading to black? I'm not done talking yet. Woke, diversity, woke!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!